Okay, season 1, episode 172. Okay, so again, last episode we built a thing that makes us the rooms that make our crystal oscillators and our motors. We need to get heavy modular frames, computers, high-speed connectors, and circuit boards. Now, I've kind of 180'd on the circuit board thing, so watch this. I should have really looked into the recipe before I decided to choose. Check this out. I was going to do this, right? 4 plastic for 1 board. But here's where it gets better. How about this one? 10 plastic for 7. And quick wire, which I can make a lot of. I don't know about these, because I don't have a lot of sheets. We generate roughly 800 deuterium wire, and we use 400 of it. But here's the thing I'm thinking of: we're definitely gonna need that a lot of deuterium, so we should definitely tap into this bad boy right here. I am considering doing that. So if we can make 400. What if I spend 300? Divided on 37.5. 8 times 8.75. We make 70 circuit boards a minute. Which we can make. Oh wait, I don't want to use this. So we got 60 for 2 and a minute versus 210 a minute for 3.75. I think we should definitely consider using this. Plus, this has silica. We don't use silica for absolutely anything. So, I think we do this. Okay, anyway, so here we go. So 4 circuit boards for 1 computer versus 4 circuit boards for 1. So the circuit boards per circuit boards from each recipe, neutral lights out. Okay, so now we need 52 deuterium wire right here. Let's see, 20 cables. That could be done. We consume 140 cables a minute. Hello, viewer. My problem is, it's been such a while since I've played and built this factory, but that I forgot my values. So I don't know. I feel like doing these high-speed connectors, the silicon circuits, and the deuterium computers will be so taxing on deuterium wire. I think we should go for this recipe right here. Plastic, we can definitely get away with that. Cables, we will definitely consider using. But by the way, here's another thing that we need to consider. Shit. You know what I could do? I could take all this Caterium and put it and make it into a purified ingot. I know it's called ingot. Let's see, if I... That will be energy intensive, but it doesn't gets me more... You know, it's gonna be energy intensive, bro. We just put 41 gigawatts onto the grid. I don't think we have a problem. But, honestly... Let's see, 480. We would need 20 of these to process. Actually, I don't... By the way, I think we can upgrade later. I don't think we can, build this now. Well, definitely, I'll definitely consider, Huh? Let's see. So I wanted to start designing some shit. I need to start planning out what I'm gonna design. Like, what my rate will be. Here's actually a better way to make Caterium wire, but it needs a lot of copper. Which I don't really have too much right here in this central area. I don't think I'll have enough time to build that much shit today. I think... again, we have to also... I think we're gonna expand anyway. I'm gonna use this recipe here. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna choose these recipes right here. This recipe I would choose, but even if I expand my Caterium production, it's not gonna be that fun to make this. Also, by the way, if I get Mark III miners, or even better belts, I can actually get more Caterium to my facility. So we're gonna use this, which is gonna require cables. I need to go check how much cable I produce. I think my cables are only used in the I think my cables are only used in the like they either sent to the storage or they're used in the what do you call them? They're used in the crystal oscillators. Looks like we make a grand total about 600 plus 120, 720 wire a minute. Okay, so crystal oscillators. We use 140 of them a minute. But okay, so that means we have 580. But do we use wires for anything else? Or cables? Okay, no. Okay, crystal oscillator, yep, I already make that. Oh, I don't think I use them on anything else. Cool, so I have 580 wire cable just kind of chilling. 580 cable a minute that I can tap into. So let's say, what computers? I need to be careful designing how many computers I want because problem is I have to match that with this shit here. Okay, with the circuit board, let's say I ran the recipe for the Caterium shit, right? If I went, yeah. Okay, so yeah, 580 cable a minute. So, again, let's say I take 300 Caterium wire and I dump it into here. Divide by 37.5, and you multiply by 8.75. That makes 70, right? If I make 70, the max amount of... I need to have, sorry. The circuit board's need to be split into between 3 parts. Storage, high-speed connectors, and computers. Alright? So if I did that, I could maximum power 8. Let's say we got 10 of these machines. So 200 cable, 100 circuit boards a minute, whatever, and 400. We gotta produce 600 plastic. I don't think we should go for that much. Let's say 5. So we consume 50 a minute. So 5 times 2.5 is 12 a minute. So that's roughly 1 every 5 seconds. So that's not terrible. So that means we consume about 200 plastic, 100 cable, and 50 circuit boards. So let's do that. Let's do 5 computers. 5 computers. $500 circuit board, 100 cable, and double that in 200 plastic. Okay. And that makes 12.5 computers a minute. Now, that means if I did 300 deuterium into circuit boards, I'd have 20 circuit boards a minute left. The good thing is, actually, there's not that many required for here. What about this? Hear that? That's a train. I love it. It definitely does feel like I have more life to my world because I have trains going by like that. Okay, so high-speed circuit connectors. Let's go for 15. 5. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. 5 of them. Oh, got it. So 5 times 90 is 450. Right? 5 times 37.5 is 187. And we need 15 circuit boards. Hell, even if we use the deuterium to manufacture circuit boards, we would actually still have like 5 circuit boards a minute left going to storage, but we're gonna make more circuit boards than that. We're gonna make way more. How much silica do I make? The good thing is silica is an unused resource here. It goes right to storage. Okay, let's see. I could probably put those stations right here. There is definitely a lot of space around here to expand. Actually, I'm gonna put it right here, and then I'm gonna make it kind of like. I don't know how to explain it. Oh, it's probably running to the crystals. Let's see, I run about 8 of these machines, and I run about... Oh my god. Okay, so apparently only a quarter of this will be... Literally 5 of these machines would be... 5... I don't know why I did that dash. How the hell did I do that? Only about 5 of these machines would be required to supply silica for all my shit. Could even consider devoting some of my silica over to, what do you want to call it? could devote some of my silica over to circuit boards, but I don't know how that would go. Okay, I use 100 of this. 100. I use 100. Might have to consider switching to a different recipe. Alright, so there's actually 2 ways I can make AI limiters. There's that, 5 that. Ooh, wait, hold on. 30 for 2, or no, 30 for 2 versus 20 for... And I make 20 a minute, right? So if I made 3 of these, right, it would require 360 deuterium wire a minute, saving me 60. But I'd have to suffice in plastic. I'll pass. I'll pass. I think half my copper is set straight into the to be sheeted. Half of it is spent on wires, half of it is spent on sheeting. There are 12 of these machines. I make 360. I make 360 sheets of copper a minute, and I actually get to keep 260 after I use all that shit over there. It's 260 a minute I get, right? Let's view this recipe. 260 a minute. If I did 4 of these, which means 4 times 12, which is 48, plus 50 a minute. I can make 50 a minute if I sacrifice 110. Meaning that I would, 210 minus 110 would be 100. I mean, I can always do that, 100 of these. Could run 4 of these machines. Make 50 a minute. Which would be perfect for the computers. Which would be perfect. Which would be absolutely perfect for the computers. You know, I have an idea. I could devote 100 of that a minute. 100 of those sheets a minute into a computer. Into one of those circuit board makers. Or I can make that in the circuit boards right here. And then after I get circuit boards, I can simply just run cables and plastic over. But I do need to have a connection point for the plastic. I'm actually not going to destroy these ramps. I'm actually going to keep them and use it to supply my deuterium. Alright, so I'm gonna run 5 computers. Oh, you know what's great? The silica's right here. I definitely think we need to start getting into... I think we need to get into computers as soon as we can. And heavy modular frames. Oh man, we're starting to pile up those oscillators. Damn it!
viewer.
Hello. That's not done with the modular engines. Nice. As you can tell, my facility is done. My power plant's done. How did... What? Making I need to make 6 rooms. I've already done 2. I need to build a room that makes computers, heavy modular frames, circuit boards, high-speed connectors, motors, and finally, crystal oscillators. The motors and crystal oscillators have been built and are currently operating. Yeah. By the way, I have to make a major announcement. I have a small chance of going to a place called Portland, Oregon. If that is true, that means that I will be essentially traveling halfway across the continent. Can you imagine that? Me going across the entire continent of North America for 3 weeks. Severing my ties to my family for 3 weeks. At least all physical ties. I'm gonna try to bring my PlayStation. The only problem is, I'm a little bit concerned with its security in a hotel room. But here's the thing. I know my parents may want me to fly, but I may want to drive. If that is, ready for this, chat? Guess how long it's gonna take for me to get there, to drive there. 5 hours? 8 hours? 12? Try 29. That's right. 29 hours. 29 hours is how long it takes for me to get to Portland. I will be traveling. If I did it, if a drive, that is 1,700 miles. That is almost. That's about 35. Actually, that is approximately 38% of the life of an oil filter burnt. A lot of miles in my car, but I really want to drive. I want to see my country. Perhaps I could probably go to Yellowstone. I could see cities like Denver. Cities like, possibly Denver, maybe even Salt Lake City. However, there is a little bit of a pro. I live in the Central Time Zone, and that where Portland is the Eastern Time Zone or the Western Time Zone, which means I'd be transitioning to 2 hours previously, or 2 hours before. Oh yeah, yeah, I just want to say, as an American, please don't swim in our hot springs. Not only is it very illegal, but you will literally kill yourself. Because here's the thing. Those hot springs, one, they're extremely hot. We're talking boiling. Now, if the heat doesn't immediately destroy your body, the acidic nature of the springs will. So please, again, and if your dog jumps in, your best idea is to either is just sit back and watch it happen, or best of all, shoot it. I mean, water can boil. It is extremely hot. Let's see, it is 92C. God damn, you were on the money. Where's your money? You were on that point. Like, if you jump in and the water is allowed to go at least, I'd say even like up to your waist, you'll be so heavily paralyzed by pain that it's over. 100, yeah. Water literally converts into steam at 100, and that's 8 degrees Celsius under. Or, let's see, I think like 12 degrees Fahrenheit under. That's not a lot. And don't, if anybody's like, oh, I can do it. No, you can't. The human body literally cannot survive that temperature. Like, you'll be just so paralyzed by pain that you're just done. And burning literally sucks. Burning to death is one of the shittiest ways to die. Oh yeah, radiation sucks even more. I'd actually go farther to say, I'd rather die by burning than radiation, as I've said many times. Because, literally, radiation, as a death, literally sucks. I mean, here's how if you get exposed to severe radiation, you will suffer fatigue, diarrhea, bloody vomit, all that fun shit. And it'll go like that for 2 weeks. And then, at the 3rd week, it'll all go away in the latency period. But then, after week 4, that latency period will end, and you will get hit harder than the first 2 weeks. Yeah, so it literally, apparently it could stop. Is the worst. Gamma radiation will go, but still, yes, you are correct. Although alpha rays do not have as much penetrative power as gamma rays, alpha is the most energetic. People like I feel like it's a lie of science. People say, oh my gosh, alpha is stopped by paper. I've literally used tinfoil, and alpha apparently still goes through. I know this because I've exposed a, I have a Geiger counter, and it detects alpha, and I put a piece of tinfoil beneath it, and, well, it didn't block. Because if you're running, oh, how do you know it's alpha? Because it's a uranium glass, or not uranium glass, but it's a Fiestaware bowl which contains up to 14% uranium, which is an alpha. Alpha lead shielding is enough. Honestly, for alpha, I've discovered at least about a centimeter of glass or ceramic does the trick. Ceramic is an extremely good insulator. I found that out. In fact, one thing I found out, I have a piece of orange Fiestaware, and I contain it by taking 2 salad bowls of Fiestaware, and I flip one raw uranium. I think it's an alpha emitter. I can prove it right now. Kind of, I guess. I mean, really think about it. Because I have raw uranium. So I actually have a piece of raw uranium right here. But don't worry, it's not that big in order to harm me. So you see this little black dot right there? That's uranium ore. Which translates 0.07 or 0.1 microsieverts an hour. Very low. It's like double background, which is... it's fine. But I'm not anywhere near it. I'm probably getting more health effects from the radon emitted from my state. If you don't know, I live in Illinois, of course. Illinois is notorious for radon. It enters your home and it can cause health effects. Zirconium. I think zirconium's a metal. A transitional metal. Or transition metal. Another reason I really want to go to Yellowstone National Park, as a meteorologist, it's one of the few places that regularly spawn steam devils, a form of whirlwind. And of course, whirlwinds are the family that tornadoes are in. Tornadoes, fire tornadoes, eddies, gusts, whirlwinds, dust devils, water spouts, and cold funnels are in the whirlwind class. Of course, tornadoes being the most famous of which. Zirconium, yeah, it's a nuclear industry material like boron or graphite. Which graphite is a, they can increase reactions. It's an allotrope of carbon, meaning that graphite is literally only made of carbon. That's it. No other elements. It's just carbon. Graphite is essentially a bunch of carbon atoms linked together in a chicken wire fence-like formation. There's also a carbon nanotube. And of course the fabled graphene. I think the only problem with graphene is we just can't... Radon will kill you first, but you need a long time of exposure. Oh yeah, exactly. Radon will kill me before that uranium ore does. Like, that uranium ore is probably, like, the widest part of it is probably no more than, I want to estimate about 4 to 5 millimeters wide. Very small amount. It's of course, it's a piece of granite. I suspect that I think it's uranium ore because it matches the description of uraninite, which is a black, mildly glossy rock that is a very high alpha emitter. What's half of uranium? It depends by isotope. I think it's like anywhere between 200. Some isotopes are 200 to 400 million years, where I probably think some of them go up to like 4 billion. It depends on the isotope. Like, some of them have half-lives of millions of years. 235. That's a... ...700 to 704 million years for U-235. But apparently, in nature, the raw form of uranium is U-238. This raw form of uranium is unable to be used in reactors without purification. They enrich it, right? Yeah, so if you don't know, what the hell is an isotope? An isotope is a member of an element that has a different number of neutrons on it. For example, if you take cobalt, cobalt is a metal, and it's very tame, but cobalt-60 is intensely radioactive. Cobalt-60 is probably one of the scariest things humanity has ever made. Cobalt-60 scares the shit out of me, dude. The capsules literally say drop and run, for Pete's sake. No thank you. No thanks. Like, for example, you have U-235, which is an isotope of uranium, and U-238, which is another isotope. U-235 is not really common in nature. It's very rare. I'm still in college. I know what isotope in the same atomic number, atomic mass. Apparently, actually, atomic mass is the average weight, or atomic. It's average. It takes the rarity of all the isotopes and takes their mass and adds it up to an average. So if I'm not wrong, if I have an element number 1 and its atomic mass is 5, and I have another isotope of the same element and its atomic mass is like 6. It's going to add to 5 plus 6 divided by 2, which is the average, and then that's its atomic mass, which would result 5.5. So atomic mass would be 5.5. Again, that's not an actual element. It's just, you know, that's an example. What are you going to college for? Oh, guys, guess what? I'm very glad to announce that today I have achieved my Energy Systems Technology Skills Certificate. Yippee! I finally got it. That with my our colleges are different. I got my high voltage battery certificate and my Energy Systems Technology Skills Certificate, or Energy Systems Technology Skills Certificate. So yippee, guys! I got them both. Maybe hopefully I can get like a certificate like meteorology. So I do know a pretty decent amount when it comes to energy systems, especially, of course, like, you know, regarding wind. So for U-235, there's different levels of enrichment. For reactor grade, I'm pretty sure it falls around 5%, whereas for nuclear weapons, this falls to about, or this goes all the way up to like 95% enrichment. But what's scarier than uranium is plutonium. Plutonium is a violently dangerous transuranic element. It is made in a lab, not found in nature. It used to be found in nature billions of years ago, but all of it is radioactively decayed ever since. It's so dangerous that plutonium just kind of like just burst violently into flames upon presence with oxygen. It is illegal to own in America. And honestly, I'm fine with that. A fry. What's that mean? A fruit of man. I'm fine. You guys can keep your plutonium. I don't want that shit. Hell no. Yikes. Like, plutonium is the thing that literally just, hey, you know, it says, you know, F this. I'm literally catching on fire. Trey, stop me. Catches on fire violently. Also, here's what's scary. When America dropped its atomic bombs in Japan, we used, what, roughly 132 kilograms of uranium, and then after that, we used only 13 kilograms of plutonium and achieved a bigger effect. That's the size of an orange. Can you imagine all that energy being condensed so much into an orange? Enough to flatten a city to the ground. And that can fit the size of my fist. Can you imagine if you were able to take every single joule and convert it into a watt? Let's see. Actually, you could do that, because a watt of energy is 1 joule per second. So, for example, if you have a megawatt appliance in Satisfactory, you consume a megajoule of energy per second. Yeah, we don't talk about the Demon Core. America, we kind of have a history of FAFO, F around, find out about random shit. Let's see, in a kilo of plutonium. One kilogram of plutonium provides the explosive power of roughly 20,000 tons of TNT. 20 kilotons. Holy shit! In a nuclear power plant, a kilogram of plutonium can produce about 6 million kilowatts! Hours. Kilowatt hours! I gotta run that math. 6 million. A kilogram of plutonium can run an American home. Let's see, 200,000. Let's see, 6 million, right? Divided by 30. Divided by 325. And 365. A kilogram of plutonium can power an American home for 547 years. What the hell? Man, the energy, that's a kilogram. That's nothing. I mean, what? A pellet of uranium can be equivalent to a whole ton of coal. That's a pellet. That's this big. That's like the tip of my thumb cut off as a piece of uranium. I mean, I love wind technology, but I have to give it to nuclear. Nuclear is awesome. Honestly, people are like, oh my god, nuclear waste. Yes, but here's the thing. if you don't seek it, you'll never come in contact with nuclear waste. But when you breathe in every day, you breathe in the ash of coal plants around the world. But you know what's really great? This is gonna produce. If I have 4 of these at this recipe, I'm gonna produce 50 circuit boards a minute, which is exactly enough to satisfy the required rate for that. And I need silica, which is made literally right over there. I need copper sheets, which I can convey over here. The rest is going to use the plastic recipe with the deuterium wire. We're going to need to start consuming a lot of deuterium wire. We're going to need to expand. Luckily, there is a pure node right here we can tap out of. Let's say I want 8 of these and 4 of those, which is great because 8 plus 4 is 12, so we get that. 8.75 times 8. And we'll take 70 circuit boards a minute, and that's what we will use. The rest, then the circuit boards from this corner to this corner will be used in 2 ways. High-speed connectors and high-speed connectors and straight to storage. The good thing is, for high-speed connectors, we don't really need that much. Let's see, so 60 for 2 versus 56. We're gonna do this one. We actually, oh yeah, right. I did say that we were gonna use this recipe because, dude, 60 for 2 versus 56 for 1. Use the copper sheet plus silk recipe for the circuit. Oh my god, my chat is so bad. Oh man, we got a lot of recipes for this. I know it sounds weird. I'm gonna use this recipe. The reason I want to use this recipe for computers is that I don't want to make... I don't have a lot of deuterium around this area, and I don't want to go expand currently. I know it's probably a stupid thing to do. So here we're going to need to deliver plastic and quick wire, which in order to do that, I think we need to... I don't know how long I'm going to play, because I usually get off like an hour ago. We're going to need to expand my deuterium wire, which means I'm going to have to add another belt. But I don't think I have to do that, because guess what? I already got another belt right here that used to carry my plastic and rubber. And those belts are now empty, 2 on the top. So now we can just repurpose that. Until then, we need to go over here, and we need to expand our deuterium wire. So in about a couple... I mean, as soon as tonight, we could demonstrate how this factory works. It is modular. It expands upon my demand of product. They need to be kissing. Like, come on. They just need to go, There we go. That's a merger. Oh wait, that's supposed to be like that. What's supposed to be for heavy mod frames? I got all 3. Looks like there are... Huh. I don't know about this one. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. Jesus Christ. Oof. Yeah. Whoopsies. I do not like that screw wrist. Damn it. Let's see, so we got... Probably, I almost consider the one that uses the least amount of modular frames. Heavy, let's see, this uses less. Wait a second, so this uses less modular frames. Okay. Check. But this uses more pipes and probably more concrete. Oh yeah, I'll probably definitely use this one. Concrete is not bad. Steel pipes, I don't really use that many steel pipes, I don't think. Except for statters. What's the other one? No, we're not using heavy flexible. That's too many screws. God damn. This does use a little... Actually, wait, this uses a little bit less. Encased industrial beams a minute, but it does generate 2.8 minute versus 2 a minute. I will say the only bad thing about this recipe right here is that 2.812 is a really shitty number. Yikes. There's a Mycelium ore. More plates. Damn it! Alright guys, this is it. I need to go to bed. When I come back, we're going to build a Caterium wire manufacturing. I'm actually have to do a coin run tomorrow. We're going to build a Caterium wire manufacturing. In here, we're going to expand. We're going to run the... We're going to make... We can make high-speed connectors and circuit board making. We can make the high-speed connectors, circuit board machines, and what do you call it? The computer manufacturing stations tomorrow. And I don't doubt that we can actually definitely get the what do you call it? The heavy modular frame system online. Like, oh, I want to start on phase 2, or phase 3. I need to do that, but in order to do that, I need heavy modular frames and computers. So yeah. Anyway, that's really it. And log.